Cypher Morrison, and this is This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. We'll be talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Yeah. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio.
Welcome to This Week in Car Audio with your host, the Judge, Doug Stockton, co-hosted by Mr. Internet Sensation himself, movie star extraordinaire, Mr. Jeffrey Fernandez. What's up, Jeffrey?
What's going on, Doug? Nothing much, just hanging out.
Yep, me too. Any do a show this weekend or anything?
No show this weekend.
Yeah. Well, I sucked at bowling and I only got second place. So
Dang.
I know. I beat a bunch of other people that were there, but not enough. So, yeah, I'm sharing this up right now, trying to get it online so I can pull all the information back to the feed. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so let me go over our sponsors. The sponsors for this week's show is all we always have. Voodoo Customs, E-Box, and Stohlman Transportation. Speaking of which, we have one of our sponsors on the show. What's up, Mr. Stohlman?
How are you doing, Mr. Stockton?
Still alive. Just doing our thing. Let's see here. I'm trying to pull up my there's my live feed. Bam. Let's see if I can get that going on. Oh, there we got that one going there. I got this one going. Hey, I got everything going. I see some testing people. My daughter's watching, Mrs. Kelsey Black. Moises Alejandre watching. As soon as I can pull up the chats, I will start pulling those in. Bam. Pop up chat. There we go. And whoa, what was that?
That was me.
Oh, okay. Let's see, I got one pop-up chat, but I don't have my other one. Doesn't want to pull the live up. All right. Hey, Justin, why don't you tell us while I'm trying to pull Steve along, where's the bass? Stephen Talbot popping in. Steve Walton says, where's the bass?
So I got to go outside? I got to go fire up the car? Is that what that means?
Let me try and refresh this.
I don't think you guys are ready for all that.
Well, I don't know. Based on how it performed at Autorama.
We don't talk about Autorama.
Uh-oh.
Autorama didn't happen. We don't talk about Autorama.
It didn't happen, huh? Oh,
I think something got wet. I didn't like the way down.
I missed Badass Sounds by Steve as one of our sponsors. But Facebook doesn't want to work for me right now.
Uh-oh.
That's less than cool.
Could have swore it. Yeah, it's on there.
No, it's on there, but my computer doesn't want to open it up, so I can't see all. I can see the text on there, but I can't bring them up onto this screen until it shows up on my other computer. So, Spencer Stanlin, man, been a long time since I've seen that name in there.
How you doing, Steve? Haven't seen you for a minute. That's one of my buddies.
Okay. So why don't you tell us about the event you got coming on this weekend?
I'm teamed up with
Let's try it this way.
T.W.I.C.A. We have a show, our second annual River Valley High School. It is right across the street from the Walmart shopping center off of Highway 20. It's also just down the street from the Ram dealership. but it is a fundraiser that we're doing for the high school for their sports program, so they can help send more kids to camps and
Okay.
help out with people that can't, students with their families that can't afford to jerseys or travel fees or whatever. So this fund kind of helps go toward the kids that to make sure everyone is involved in sports. So
There we go.
very good turnout. They have a big car show. They're going to have 6 food vendors,
Whoa,
product
cool.
vendors, a DJ, face painting, kid games, raffle prizes, and of course the sound off competition. So I got involved with it last year, and they were really interested in doing a car audio competition. So I reached out with Ray and brought him in, and it went so well that they invited us back for a second year. So lots of watts and shocking sounds. B Bisbee Audio and Ruthless Audio are the sponsors for that show. So appreciate all the sponsors and everyone that is helping make this happen with the kids. So it means a lot to me and means a lot to the high school that we're able to give back and do more for a local area.
Anthony Peregrine popping in. Sorry, Justin can't make it. So he apparently can't make it to the show.
Wow.
Um,
Uh,
so no, that's cool. So this is a fundraiser for a high school to add to their sports program, right? So the short
yes, sir.
version. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's gonna be Sunday the what?
The ninth.
So that'll be this coming Sunday
Oh,
at
there it
10
is.
a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yep.
There you go. So I don't do ayahuasca, so I don't know much about the ayahuasca stuff. But in general, um, do you know what classes they have for people that might just be watching this and might want to show up?
I know we're gonna have a couple awards. Let me get that information. They it's gonna be pretty much for certificates for Ray for anyone that competes in IDBL, base boxing, or demo boxing. I'll be competing in all three. But we got the event is giving us 2 trophies to hand out for we added 2 trophies this year: best of sound off
Hmm.
base and best sound quality. So the high school is donating 2 awards to us to hand out.
Okay,
So
that's cool. But so classes, I believe ayahuasca has some entry level classes so that even
yeah,
if you don't have this big badass system, you still have an opportunity to compete and
exactly.
come in and have a good time, you know?
Yeah. So they have a couple entry classes. Trunk,
Hmm.
hatchback, SUV, extreme. If you're like me.
So, so yeah, Tristan and Tiffany popping in from Bridgetown, Barbados.
But
Saying,
they
hey, what's
definitely
up?
have a class for anybody. We had a first time competitor last year, and he did very well. I think he ended up being right around 125 dB for an
Okay.
entry. So I
Anthony
think,
says, scratch that. I might be able to make it since it's Sunday.
yeah, it's
So,
Sunday
yeah.
show.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
for the kids.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Do any of the kids last year did they enter the competition? Any of the
I
students?
think I think the youngest person that we had, I think, was in his 20s. So,
So none of the
but
high school
I
kids.
I gave out a 10 of demos with the hatch this year. Obviously, I have a better vehicle now, so I I don't know. I think I probably did maybe 30 demos that I set up my lots of watts tent right next to Ayaska, and then this year Shocking Sounds will be set up right next to me, so they'll be up front. I mean, the high school, they give us a big, huge area. I mean, it's right in front of their stadium, their football stadium, and it's literally like the size of their whole football field is what we get for our sound competition. I mean, we get a big, huge area
Wow.
for it.
That's cool.
And it's easy access, so you can go right in through the gate and go check out the car show, which they're still taking people up to Sunday morning. So if you want to enter a car show, you're more than welcome to. It doesn't have to be the best show car. I mean, they have other classes as well if you're under progress or whatever. If you have a motorcycle, side by side, they have different classes, boats. If you have anything that you want to enter, I believe it's $25. You can message me on Facebook. I can get you with Jason Ramos, who's in charge of all that, and I can get you the pre-registration link. But yeah, pretty. It's a pretty good opportunity to help out a high school, and so we're real thankful that we got to come back again this year.
That's cool.
Is any of the school staff volunteer, or do they help out with car
Exactly.
show and stuff?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
they do.
cool.
Yeah,
How,
they
how about the
come.
principal? Do you know?
I haven't got to give it. I haven't got to give the principal demo yet. So
Yeah, imagine, or you said Ruthless is going to be there. Imagine if they bring the hearse and the principal comes walking around and you say, "Hey, let's get a demo with the principal," and then the kids will just go nuts. And then
yeah, I
come
think
to find out the principal's like a closet bass head that nobody knew about, and
exactly. I
that'd
mean,
be really cool.
we've gone out to Ray and myself. We've gone out to other audio shops around and ask if they want to donate or anything for like the raffle, or if they want to come in. We try to involve the community as much as possible, but it's up to them if they want to do it or not, of course.
Mhm.
But just trying to involve as much as possible. I think a couple of the shops last year, they donated a whole new sound system for the Little League park. So they were kind of strapped on donations since they just redid the whole PA system, this and that. So that if you go out to them with enough time, usually they'll get something together. Or maybe they have their own show vehicle for that promotes their shop. I know Shocking Sounds will be there with the XB, with the
Oh,
Scion.
wow.
So so we'll be promoting Shocking Sounds there. I don't think Ben is going to make it. I know the Hearst is still up and Reading getting built. So a lot of upgrades
Okay.
coming out with the Hearst. So they're hoping to have it done for the Reading show. So
Plus he's probably going to be in Indiana this weekend.
yeah, he might be at Slam.
Yeah. He has people that help him do his build for him. So even though he'll be at Slam, his vehicle won't be. So Tiffany says, convert the principal into a base head.
You never know.
Woody McDonald says, hey, what's up, Justin?
Hey, Woody.
Oh, and Jeff and Doug, I guess. So this is a benefit, which is cool. We don't do a ton of those. I mean, we do a handful of them all year. We got Surf City, we got the Toys for Tots, we got this one. So, there's a handful of the benefit shows out there, which are really, really cool. So, that's awesome. Tristan with SQ Sound says, Justin is wearing our #1 brand.
Nice.
So, okay, speaking of DC and stuff, Brian Nyman's mom asked me to share some information or ask somebody at the Celebration of Life. I saw on Facebook, and honestly, I don't know who it was, but they posted like 50 or 60 pictures, a crap ton of pictures. If you are them or you know who did that, if they can get it, send me a message so I can share it with Brian's mom. She didn't. She was distracted and didn't get any pictures. So if you guys did that, the other thing, his Tahoe is up for sale, including
Whoa.
everything that's in it, and she would just like it to go to somebody that's in the basehead community. So I mean, it's probably got $2,500, $3,000 in rims on the car by itself. It has a brand new transmission that might have 1,000 miles on it.
I always
Um,
figured Emiliano would probably get his.
so Emiliano said he wanted it, um, and he didn't follow through. So it is back up for sale. So if you guys are interested, you can get a hold of me or you can get a hold of Brian's mom at Mellows Auto Repair. And she said, please, let everybody know that she appreciates everybody coming down and doing what they were doing, and just to share that information. SQ Sound says Rusty's the person who gave us our first break of becoming a dealer, and Rusty and Justin gives us awesome support and love. So
You
yeah.
know, Rusty just posted, I
Oh,
think
did
not too
he?
long ago, about his top three dealers, or uh, I guess the locations where they're at.
Uh
And like, the first one was like Germany. And I was like,
huh.
and he was kind of shocked too. He was like, I can't believe the top three, people that carry and sell DC are actually out of the United States. I mean, that's kind of what I got from that post. But
Yeah.
I was like, hearing Tristan out there in Barbados, it's the people out there in Germany is like selling DC like crazy out there too.
Yeah. Steve Willis asked how much.
Ah,
I believe she said 10K, and that was amp, subs, box, dynamat, whatever is in the truck, brand new seats, brand new interior parts, everything. Subs, extra subs, all kinds of stuff for
wow.
that 10 grand. So, um, that's how
Plus, you
much
get
she
to
said.
carry someone's legacy when you go out and compete or you go
Yep.
to a show. It's more than just a vehicle. It's
Yep.
what
A-
that vehicle's
And
meant.
that's kind of why she asked me to mention it here for you guys, because that's what she would like to see happen with that vehicle. So,
Of course, we'd like for it to stay local,
yeah.
but if it goes out to somebody that's going to enjoy it and love it, and
Mhm.
that's more than what we would ever want.
Yeah.
So,
So anyway, so that was just sharing with you guys. Um, but and then I made a faux pas. I was supposed to help out Tristan and Tiffany this weekend. I was supposed to set it up with Jeffrey and myself, and I got sidetracked with my wife and didn't do it. They want us to help them with some training stuff.
Hmm.
One of
Okay.
the weekends coming up, so we just need to schedule some time with them. And like
All
I said,
expense paid to Barbados. Is that what it is?
all expense paid to a Zoom call to Barbados.
Ah, okay.
Um, but needless to say, yeah. Speaking of which, wasn't this the country of Barbados gonna fly somebody out there and help you guys out with this stuff? Anyway, we have the time, they say. So, anyway, Justin, so why don't you tell us about you? What got you started in car audio? What was your first system?
my brother actually got me involved
Mm-hmm.
in car audio. He is 8 years older than I am. So when I was 8, he was 16, and he had a old Buick with a full system in it, and then later got a Volkswagen Rabbit, and
Ooh.
I've helped him push that thing up and down the street because of glow plugs. Those are a huge problem with those dang rabbits and glow
Oh,
plugs.
okay.
So, and every time we'd go out water skiing, I'd ride out with my brother or ride home with him, and he actually got me listening to so much rap music and R&B back in the 90s, and that got me really into bass and just wanted to be like my brother. Just, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think my first system, I think was two MTX 12s, and
Okay.
then
Thunders.
yeah, and then I went up.
Cool.
I've I've pretty much had just about everything, but when I first started competing, I had two power bass 15s, and it wasn't loud. And I think the very first show I went to, no, the very first show I went to was Jerry's Car Stereo in Yuba City,
Mm-hmm.
and Doug hooked me up with Old Man Mike with his van, Bill Johnson,
Mm.
and the other one was Tim
Damn.
Brunyansky.
Bernosky. Yes. So, and then after that, I did really well. I just had two little Pioneer 760 amps, and I think I did like 135 decibels just off two 12s. And so, and then the next weekend he was at Audio Express in Sacramento, and at the time I lived in Fernley, Nevada, so I drove from Fernley down to Audio Express in Sacramento and attended the second show, and then just kind of got hooked. And uh, Doug hooked me up with Rusty, who owned a stereo shop in Sparks at the time, Sound Solutions.
Sound
Mhm.
solutions.
So,
Yeah.
because he was just down the street from me, so if I needed anything, that's kind of how I met Rusty. And I attended some of his events there that he would do at his shop, and the rest is kind of history. And I did some of the events there in Sparks at JC Car Audio, where we
Yep.
had our first West Coast finale.
Mm-hmm.
And by that time I had two RE subs that I caught on fire after the show. So, and just been evolving. And back then car audio wasn't what it is now. I mean, it was bigger. Every event we'd have tons of cars, especially Autorama. I mean, I think this year Autorama kind of brought back memories of old school Autorama.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
All right.
But
So SQ Sounds Tristan asked, which level DC gave you your first thrill? His was the DC M38.
the first DCs I actually owned and actually ran, I had a level 3, but I never put power to it. I had an FIQ that I bought blown, and I took it to Rusty, and he and I reconed it and made it a level 3, and I never got to put power to it. So the very first exposure I've had with my own DC subs were level 6s that I had last year.
Okay. All right. So your brother got you into the car audio and this and that. So your first car was the Rabbit, or that was your
No,
brother's?
that was my brother's.
Okay.
My
What was
first,
yours? that you
mine
competed
was
for?
a Dodge Colt, a '94 Dodge Colt.
That's the small car with the hatchback.
Yeah.
What's it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Was it
that's
white?
the
with
one
hat.
where you could buy 3 of them for $400.
What?
Yeah.
That's like
It
the
was
Dodge
my,
Omni and the Colt were the same
Yeah,
vehicle.
that's right.
And
it
then
was my
the-
sister's car, and then
Yeah.
she moved back to California, and she got a new car, and it was like, hey, if you want this, you can have it for like $800. And it was like,
Did you tell her she was ripping you off?
so, and I had that car for like 2 years. I drove it up to Montana, drove it here, I mean,
Wow.
that thing wouldn't never die. That thing, that thing was bulletproof. I tried to blow it up so I could get something else so many times, and that thing just never would have went.
Did you put a system in it?
I did. I had, what did I have in that? I think I had some MTX something's in them. I think I had like 212s in a ported box, that a prefab box, but
Mhm.
it didn't take very much to get that thing going. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
that
You
thing,
probably had it in the back in the cargo area.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I had a couple 6x9s just to play. Took out the rear speakers, upgraded those, upgraded the door speakers, and yeah, that thing
And
was
then
nothing
wall it.
compared.
Put a wall.
And then
That
put a
was
wall.
I never knew about walls until many years later, and it was like, but you know, I've always had a thing for car audio. I've always loved music and just enjoying it, and
Mhm.
but
No, that's
not
cool.
nothing to the hobby of where it is now. But
Right. So your first show was
Gary's,
Jerry Stereo.
yep.
What was your favorite show that you've ever been to?
Uh, aside from Autorama, I think the very the one show was my first year doing the West Coast finale and also the air races at JC Car Audio in Sparks. That
Mm-hmm.
was probably the funnest show. Just back then Team Basic was around, so Chemo and Nyman was part of Team Basic, Alpine, all of those guys. You just seeing how teams operate and seeing how everyone was, always down to help each other, even though you're there to compete. It just felt like a big, huge family. And
Mm-hmm.
at that Jerry Stereo, you actually introduced me to Steve Mead because he
Okay.
showed up at that event and he took me around the block in his Tahoe, and I was like, no freaking way. That is nuts.
Uh-huh.
I was hooked after that.
Okay. Bro Tony says MTX are still great. He's got the two 9512s at 3K each. James Edward Kill says, "What's up, Jeff?"
Hey.
So, all right. So you really enjoyed that. Let's see what here. We have a slogan we had created and logo for here in Barbados. Go DC or go home.
Ah, okay.
All right. So Tiffany says, serious question. Do you pump music while you storm chase?
As long as I'm not live streaming, yes. If I'm live streaming, no, because of copyright.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So speaking of storm chasing, why don't you tell people, what you do on the side?
So I am an extreme storm chaser. I go out and chase tornadoes across the country.
Then what are
I've
you
been.
doing in California?
It's nice to get away from it.
It's the season is.
It once you're there all spring, it's nice just to be home. And I mean, wildfire season starts right after tornado season, and
Wow.
hurricane season starts. So there's more than just one season that I do. Obviously, I work with the Weather Channel, Weather Nation. I have a lot of contacts everywhere that put out uh, my content.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I try to do as much as I can, but that's why I named my car after a hurricane. I mean, hurricanes only go up to Cat 5. I nicknamed my car Cat 6 because I'm trying to make it more and more windy. So
Ah, I
trying
see.
trying to get a little dual exposure between my storm chasing and car audio. Because
Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
two
I
different
just
things.
I friended or no, I subscribed to this YouTuber because in Texas the past few weeks has been like touch and go tornadoes and really bad storms as of late. So I just kind of been watching YouTube and watching all these storm chasers, I guess. And I forgot his name, but he was pretty knowledgeable. He had all this access to all these maps and Doppler radars, or I'm not sure if that's what they're called.
Yep.
And I thought that was kind of cool, but he was kind of boring though. He was just like, hey, there's another storm over here. It's got quarter size hail, and I was like, I'd see you being really lively and pumping it up, maybe some music in the background that don't get copyrighted. But yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
sounds
mean,
cool.
if you're on Facebook, they have free music that you can actually put
Right.
on
Right.
with Facebook. Same with YouTube, but
Hmm.
the same the music that you use on Facebook, you cannot use on YouTube. So
Ah.
like me when I'm out, I'm streaming across multiple platforms all at the same time. So, but when I'm here at the house, I mean, I have my own Doppler radars. I have a green screen
Mm.
right behind me. I have all my lighting set up. So, I'm a stand up in front of the green screen, showing everyone where the rotations are, which way the storm's heading. So, it's pretty much when I'm here at the house, I can pretty much be your online weather guy. And
Ah.
that's
Okay.
why Gary Killian loves me. I mean, he's out in Kentucky, and it's like, oh, we're going to tune into Justin and see where these storms are, and he'll stay up all night watching my live stream, but just to make sure that he's not going to get rocked by a tornado.
Tristan
Mm.
says he used to have MTX 7500s. He also wants to know, have you ever tested your vehicle to see what category winds are inside your vehicle?
Right now, based off there, you can do some. There's several equations. If you the the easiest way to right now is if you do dB to kilometers per hour, and then you switch from kilometers per hour to miles per hour. So right now,
Mm.
with the setup that I have at 157 decibels, I am right around 110 miles per hour inside,
Okay.
Wow.
roughly.
So
So
it's a
that's like
formula out
category
there.
2 or something?
Yeah. So
Mm.
it's gonna get up there. I'm
Yeah.
doing some upgrades for this weekend, and hopefully
Okay.
uh with Shocking Sounds, they've been a huge supporter with my vehicle and helped me a long way. So huge shout out to Woody and Greg Purchell at Audio 916 and
Okay.
Shocking Sounds for all the help that they have given me.
All right. James Edward Keel says, I just got my new quarter panel window in that Wednesday the tornadoes hit out here in Texas. It was
Oh.
crazy.
He actually blew it out at the De Los Santos show out here in Texas.
Oh, he did.
You know how people blow out windshields, right?
Yeah.
So I think he blew out his windshield on a USACI run, went to Base Wars, and then he ended up blowing his back, what is it, back quarter panel window, which
Really?
wow, I've never seen that before. It was crazy. Like the whole window just shut out. I mean, I've seen like passenger, like front door windows, but his was like in the back. I guess that's where his system is and all that. But kind of a bummer. He just got it replaced and, tornado hit his area and knocked it back out.
Yeah, a
Uh,
couple of years ago, I think I was out in Circleville, Texas, and I was in an EF4 in Circleville, right
Ooh.
outside Round Rock. That was when that famous video with the guy with the red truck got picked up and moved that same weekend.
Oh,
So I
okay.
was out in Texas storm chasing that huge setup that was out there.
Tiffany says, this time of year they pay close attention to storms and hurricane out there in the islands. And then
Oh,
she
okay.
said, I've experienced a category 1. If your vehicle hits Cat 2, that's insane.
Mm.
And
On the
James,
inside.
yeah, and James Kill says, no wall problems.
Yeah,
I mean,
actually,
I've
I'm
had one of
actually
like the loudest no wall cars, and that's never happened to me. But
Yeah, you
his
did it.
setup probably so
I mean,
it's
what
just that front.
it took people like 4 or 5 years to even catch up to the number you did your record in no walls.
Yeah, I think so.
It was a
Yeah.
minute. So, um,
so I'm actually equivalent to a Cat 3 right now. A Cat 3
Hmm.
hurricane is 111 to I think 129 miles per hour. So I am actually right there, right at Cat 3.
uh, Gary Killian says tornadoes are just another day in Kentucky.
Wow.
Here lately, they have been.
It, it's like a breeze to them, right?
It,
Yeah.
yeah, it's that all that Gulf moisture allowing to come up out of the Gulf and hitting that cold air, and
Mm.
that storm. Doug will find out real quick when he goes outside and goes, "Man,
That
it's
doesn't.
so hot." And then he'll find out real soon what it feels like to be in tornado weather, because you'll feel it way before it even shows up.
Tristan says I experienced the Cat 1 hurricane and I nearly crapped himself. So,
Yeah, an EF4 tornado is over 200 miles an hour, and I've been in 5 of them. And the biggest one was 2 miles wide on Easter Sunday in Mississippi. I was in between 2 tornadoes. I got hit by one, and then another one came up right behind it. And yeah, that was fun.
all right. No, nice to see Gary tuning in. Yeah, Gary, in case you didn't know, I'm moving my happy ass eventually out there to Wichita, Kansas. Thankfully, the part of Wichita I'm moving to does not have a recordable hurricane in that part of town. So they have it on the exact opposite end of town. So
Yeah, if you're anywhere close to Andover,
that's
or,
right. I'm literally on the exact opposite end of town of Andover.
yeah.
So there's a reason all the houses in Andover are brand new. So
Which that's actually a very popular video from Reed Timmer, was
What's that?
that Andover tornado, because as it came through, it was sucking all the roofs right off of the house, like in big chunks. So
nope, I'll be in a bowling alley somewhere when they're hitting. Might as well be bowling while that's happening.
So you got one of those shelters built in your house, right? Your new house?
Yes.
Make sure you have one of those.
Yeah, it's a 6-sided concrete reinforced, I believe it's 10-inch thick walls and
hopefully
ceiling.
it's underground.
It's underground,
Wow,
10-inch walls, ceiling, and it's 16 feet by 9 feet, roughly.
Is it below your basement or is it outside?
It is in my basement, but underground in my basement.
Yeah. So that's a good thing, because a lot of people, they have it outside, and it's like, if
You
you
gotta
get a
get to
tornado
there.
warning, you have to run out your back door, try to swing open doors or do something,
and then pull them closed.
and then pull, like, boy, yeah. It's storm shelters have came a long way since back then.
No, and it has a underground Ethernet system for it and all kinds of stuff. Tristan says, "What is the loudest no wall system now, Jeffrey?"
I would have to say it would be Directronics Fierno truck. I think somebody else owns it now, but yeah, it was Dan.
Oh yeah, Dan Horner.
Dan
Freaking
Horner,
insane. Right. 172, I think.
Yeah, 72. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's nasty. That's a big. I mean, and Jeffrey held it for a long time with the 164. We'll just keep that in mind. It was like what 64.8? I think you did, Jeff.
It might have been 64.6.
There you go.
But that was back in the age of ferrite motors, AGM.
AGM, yeah. I mean, can you imagine how much extra room you would have had in your vehicle if you could have went to lithium?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. You could have made something really special happen. Gary says, I'm at home with tornadoes because I've got a lot of experience with cyclone. Play on words there.
Cyclone.
That's right, King of Cyclone. Little play on words right there.
So are you able then to, like you were doing a calculation from your DB to what it would be as far as like some kind of category, tornado or?
Tornado.
How does that work?
Well, a cat. So cat 1, cat 2, cat 3, cat 4, cat 5 are hurricane classification.
My bad, yeah.
So EF1, EF0, EF1, EF2, EF3, EF4, EF5. Those are the tornado classification. As far as for like the EF scale,
yeah,
I think I would be close to maybe an EF3.
So would you be able to take like a score that Gary had did in Cyclone and then kind of
Yeah, of
calculate that to what
course.
category he would have been?
So actually, my car is actually would be an EF2,
Hmm.
111 to 135. So my car right now, based on what I did last week at last week's show, well,
Hmm.
not the weekend before at the Team Sunday show, I did because last week was Battle of the Bay, so I didn't do Battle of the Bay.
Okay.
So based on those numbers, yeah. So you can roughly you have to convert it from dB to kilometers per hour. So, and then once you do kilometers per hour, you can convert it to miles per hour. So
Hmm.
roughly, if I did it real quick, I could, let's see. I think his biggest was 165,
Nope.
164.
He was a 168 point something. When he,
Cyclone?
oh no, I don't know about his cyclone score.
Oh,
That
okay.
was
I
his
think yeah, it
DB drag.
sounded like a
Because
burp.
yeah, that was his burp score where he beat Craig Butler. Because Butler's
Well,
system
when
completely failed. That's his black ring.
then
Remember?
that's right, because he felt like it wasn't a hard fought win or it was
Yeah, it was a
actually
black stain,
uh
right?
win's a
So
win.
let's see. So roughly, let's see. So 160 kilometers per hour is close to 80 dB.
Oh,
So
that's pretty kind of low.
yeah. So let's see. So the mass of that would put it close to. I think I think he would be somewhere right around almost close to 150 miles an hour if I did the math right. He'd be right close to somewhere right close to 150 miles per hour inside.
That's like cat 3, 4.
That would put him at a EF3 tornado between 136 and 165, and on the cat scale that would put him at pretty close to a cat 4,
Huh.
almost a cat 5.
Yikes.
So Tiffany says, just leave it in kilometers. We don't use miles here in the island. Voodoo Customs popping in here. So,
LOL.
but yeah, no, that's cool. So with all of that and the systems you've seen, and like I said, you've been around a minute or two. What's your favorite build you've seen?
Oh, one too many. Uh, I've I've really loved uh I really loved the Soulgasm that Bobby Gately did. That I sat
Mhm.
in that. That was
Which one
phenomenal.
was that?
The the Soulgasm, I think that was the Escalade that he just built
The
for
green one?
somebody. I think this one was black.
Okay, so it was the black one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think he took that one. He took that one to one of the show. He took that one to Sunday Showdown. And I think he
Showdown.
got,
Hmm.
Vegas.
yeah, because he got he won an award for on it. Haven't
Hmm.
checked out. Haven't got to be in the Hearst yet. Um, I really like the way the new DC van is going. That thing is violent inside.
It's the
Uh,
Lowe's.
yeah, there's so many new builds. I mean, everyone has umpteen million builds coming out right now. So it's cool to see my Facebook page just with all these new builds and this and that, and it's like, because I'm on Facebook a lot. I mean, but it's definitely cool to see what people come up with and what they're using for power and you know I really like the smaller car builds because you're limited on how many alternators you can run, and then so but when you go full extreme and you're extreming the windshield and all the windows and doing everything, and you're seeing the 180s, that is nuts to me. That is phenomenal. That we're with the new as technology allows us to keep getting further and further, those DBs will do nothing but go up in over time.
Yeah, so they say the theoretical max in atmosphere is 190. So until we start changing the atmosphere that we play in, we could potentially just see a max of 190.
Really?
So, yep. So just
Is
for
that
your
at
information.
is that at sea level, or is that at what elevation?
I'm guessing it's going to be at sea level because it's going to be easier at sea level.
Right.
When you get higher elevations, the numbers don't tend to be as loud. So the term lab has a correction factor inside of it for sea level versus altitude. So that it shouldn't make that much of a difference. But
It'd be cool to see if Term Lab will eventually come up with a mile per hour, that if it once you do everything, once if it not only measures the dB, but it can compare and go out, that while it's already, because it can already tell you the frequency, it can already tell you. So the lower the frequency, the windier that it's going to be, which, if you're,
Mount Everest level, says Video
Yeah.
Customs. But no, that's cool. Like I said, it's you know, so let's see, we went over your favorite show, went over this. Do you have anything coming up in the works for your build? I know you bought Julio or Chivo's car.
I did. Yeah.
So
the Integra?
I did. Yeah.
He did?
I have
Okay.
the Integra. I've changed some
he
stuff on
modified
it.
it. Yep.
Try to make it my own car, and
Mm-hmm.
nothing against what Julio was doing, but I'm trying to make it a lot cleaner, less tape, more, maybe a little bit more paint, less tape, and just trying to clean it up and make it back to where it was. At one point he was doing 163s, 164s. So,
Okay.
trying to get back to that point, and maybe eventually maybe a little louder, but I mean, until I change out the windshield and change out the passenger window that sit there and flops, and there's going to be a barrier that it's going to stick at, but once you go full extreme, then that's going to just open up more possibilities.
I think he was kind of like almost there. He modified his interior to kind of be like extreme. But he still had stock glass, stock doors, so
Yeah,
that definitely got a lot of potential.
and that car is on its 8th windshield. So
Wow.
he's replaced it 8 times, and it's like as soon as it goes the first time for me, it's gonna get extremed. I'm gonna try to find some plexiglass and find someone. Maybe I'll go talk to Steve or somebody and say, "Hey, can you cut out this right here and just a little design and do like a split window with a seam to make it as strong as possible, and maybe a little something that Greg and I have talked about for the passenger window setup and the driver window setup, but you got to at least make it to where you can at least put a meter inside it." So I don't want a big hole for a meter, maybe a small hole that you can run the Cat 6 through and then
That's
flip in.
typically what we do.
Yeah. So,
slide window.
but trying to get everything pinpointed and then cut in, and but there's some stuff in the works. It's we'll see how it goes, but there's definitely a lot of spending that I would do, and it's like, I guess I better go back to work.
Hey, well, guys, we're running up on the hour pretty quick here. Jeffrey, you want to hit him with our question?
Okay. Just so you're not in shock, Justin. Well, we all know you've been watching the show a lot, and
Yeah.
It's a question that we ask basically all of our guests, and we want to know, what is your definition of a bass head?
Ah, you know, I've heard umpteen million answers to this question.
There's no right
So,
or wrong,
and
no
there's
right or
no
wrong answer.
exactly, but to me, I think a bass head is someone that just embraces the lifestyle. It's not
Mm.
so much of, yeah, hey, I love car audio and this and that. There's a lifestyle. We all support each other. I mean, look at Gary. He came out with the
Yeah.
Spice Company, he's done this, and we all come around him and try to help everyone's dreams come true. No matter what you do, you're always part of the Basehead family. Even if you're just come out with a couple 12s, you will always have someone like Doug Stockton, like
Mm.
Jeffrey Fernandez. You'll always have someone to point you to the next person. Maybe they will mentor you. Maybe they'll give you a little bit of insight into where they started and where they are now. And there's a lot of people that have came and gone before me. And there's a lot of people that don't compete anymore. There's a lot of people that have moved on to something else, but no matter what, they're always still coming to these events. Bill Johnson doesn't compete anymore, but he still comes and donates to the Toys for Tots. He still
Comes
comes
out
out and does
Ratimer.
so much
Yeah, he was
Autorama,
at Autorama.
and he will always be a part of the Basehead family, even if he's not actively competing. But so many people move on to so many great things, and it's the culture. It's willing to help out a high school event,
Mhm.
or
Oh,
willing to
yeah.
help out your local community with a Toys for Tots. I mean, there's so much than just people that sit at stoplights and base the car next to them.
Mhm.
There's so much to this sport, to this community, the people that are in it, that if you just give them a shot, they'll really blow your mind on what they're capable of doing.
There you go.
I agree. Yeah.
All right. So, Justin, why don't you plug your show again?
Uh, so this coming Sunday, we
Yep.
have right here the River Valley High School. It is a 1X IASCA show, teaming up with, this side, Shocking Sounds, Ruthless Audio, B Bisbee, Car Audio, and I think there's another one on there that I can't see, but um, it's a local event going to help out a local high school for to help earn money for their sports programs for kids that can't afford to play sports. That if they send them to sports camps, they help pay for their uniforms, travel fees. There's so much that they do with this money that it would impact a lot of kids if we can get you guys to come out and give us some support.
All
Cool.
right.
What city is it in?
It's in Yuba City. It is
Yuba City. Okay.
about half
Just
an hour north of Sacramento on 99.
North.
Yep.
Okay.
Just north 99. Nice little city there.
Yep.
We used to do the events there at Jerry's Stereo until he closed. So we actually did Jose Ramos popping in. This is senior. What did I miss? You didn't miss anything but the whole show, Jose.
Practically the whole show.
Only the last 45 minutes.
53 minutes.
53 minutes.
All right, Jeffrey, what you got going on?
I got a show coming up in California, just
Sweet.
right over my shoulder. I'll be back in California
June 15th.
Saturday, June 15th. That's gonna be Father's Day weekend, so
Sweating
get
in
to
Indio in the desert.
I said, I think a couple of weeks ago it was in Coachella, so it's pretty much their neighboring cities. It's gonna have a lot of Coachella vibes if you guys like going to the Coachella festival. Technically it's like Palm Springs area, so they're all really laid back there. Just so happens there was a guy that worked at a shop in Fontana, California, called California Sounds. He's now out in Indio. He opened up his own shop. He's doing a lot of what is it? Razors and side by sides and stuff out.
Oh, you got it.
I guess that's the thing to do out there in the
Yeah,
desert.
in the
So,
desert, baby.
in the desert. So he's got this shop now. He's been hit me up wanting to do shows. We finally locked down a date that we were both good with. Um,
Get a
and
chance
yeah,
to
if
see
you
your
guys
grandkid.
exactly, yeah, I get the spoils of Father's Day celebrations, right?
Is
So
he right at the
that's
bottom of the hill that drops down into Indio off of 10?
I'm
Or
not exactly sure. I've actually never been there before, which is kind of a new territory for DB Drag. So that's gonna be fun. He's assured me he's plugged in. He said there's gonna be a bunch of low riders, mini trucks, and stuff like that. So
Okay.
always gonna be a good time when you're out and you got this new territory that's just itching to do competitions. So if you guys are in the area, check out dbdragracing.com on the calendar for all the details.
yeah, there's some nice hotels, and I think there's a couple casinos right there, right off of 10, right in
Casinos.
Indio. Yeah, so
You
there's
don't
No.
say. You don't say.
yeah, and it's a beautiful area,
Oh
and
yeah,
uh,
definitely.
very windy during the summertime. So
Mm.
there you I've
Bring
burned
anchors for your
exactly.
tent.
Well, they got those big old what are those things that they got in the desert with the
Windmills?
is that what they're called? The airplane propeller
Yeah,
Yes, they're just
wind farms.
windmills.
They're wind farms.
Yeah.
wind farms. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
When you say windmills, I think of like the old,
Yes, the
like
Dutch
the old
windmill, Don
Dutch
Quixote.
windmills.
That,
So
that's
not
when that's when you
not
know
those
it's
kind of ones.
windy where you are.
Yeah, they put those up there and electricity stuff like that. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. It'll be a fun time. Check it out.
All
It will
right.
definitely be a good show. I mean, I think the last time I been through Indio, I
Hmm.
think there was a lot of I remember stopping and getting fuel and hearing someone booming. I was like, man.
Ah,
So there's definitely some boomers around the area.
yeah.
So should be definitely be a good turnout, I hope.
Nice.
Yep. This coming Saturday, I will be in Fresno. So Fresno at Jay's Alarms Saturday morning. So if you guys want to participate in that, come on down and see us. We're gonna be 10 a.m. start. But like I said, once again, we'll be at Jay's Alarms. I'll have water. So if you guys are thirsty, I always supply water to all my shows. Let me look real quick. And
Should be shouldn't be so hot this coming weekend. It be hotter during the week. I
oh,
think
good Lord, it's
that
108 on Thursday.
yeah.
Holy.
Saturday we're down to 99, and
And
then Monday it goes back to 104.
And I think we're looking at 96 in Yuba City on Sunday. So, yeah.
So definitely looks like it'll be a fairly warm weekend, but I'll have water for you guys. I'll have my tent, and as always, Jay will pull out that swamp cooler that you guys can stand next to.
And it's supposed to be overcasted. So, depending
yeah.
on how much overcast we're couldn't see, that's going to help
Yeah.
drive down, but that will also drive up the humidity.
Uh, okay. Anyway, so that's what I got going on. These guys have those going on. Like I said, so we got in California, we have Saturday and Sunday. Saturday down in Fresno, Sunday up in Yuba City. So if you guys want to make it, come on out and check it out. It should be a good
Are
time.
they in close proximity?
They are about 3.5 hours apart.
Mm.
So is that close proximity? Not exactly right down the street. For a car audio guy, that's right down the street.
And most of the people are going to be out of town for this coming weekend for surf. So, people like Moses that
Or slam?
they're at
Slam.
Yeah.
Yeah, surf's not till
Surf,
August.
sorry. Yeah. I meant slam.
Yep.
Because I was like, hey, you going to come out? And he goes, is that slam weekend? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'm good.
But you know what I tell people? If we do a show when there's a big show, when there's change, there's opportunity. You might be that person that's always placing second behind, one particular guy. But if they're out at another show, hey, there's an opportunity there for you. So you never know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who comes out. because I'm, like I said, I'm in ultimate or extreme classes now, so it'd be cool to see someone come out and have some fun with me.
All right. So, all right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you tuning in and being part of the show today. We'd like to thank our sponsors: Stohlman Transport LLC, E-Box, Voodoo Customs, and Badass Sounds by Steve. So if you guys get an opportunity, please support those who support the things that you like to listen to, be part of, and all that stuff. So if you guys are out there looking for stuff, please check with our sponsors. Let them know that you saw us on This Week in Car Audio. Kind of help spread the word. Apparently, Tiffany says, be happy you are not experiencing the heat out there.
Oh.
So anyway.
It's like a tropical heat, though.
Yeah.
It's like being in Florida. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, you're
Except
right there.
for much closer to the equator.
That's true.
Anyway, hey guys, we'll see you guys next week, 5:30 California time, the only time that does matter. We'll see you. Peace. We're out.